I think what I'll do is go ahead and get started. And I know we'll have others joining us yet tonight. But want to welcome everyone to integrating the online resources into your curriculum. I'm Kathleen Goslinga, been at Grantwood, actually, ironically, starting my 28th year. Love being there. It's a great place to work. I like being out in the field. I've held a variety of different jobs while I've been at Grantwood. Most recently, and my passion is working with the online resources, both with teachers and students in our districts, and looking at how to make those curriculum connections and using those different resources for research in a very effective manner. So my hope for the next several weeks is that as we take a look at them, you'll have a favorite one or two that really meet the needs of what you're working with your students, maybe now or in the future, and also just to make you aware of what all is available. Kind of so we all get used to using the Zoom, what I'd like to do is kind of go around and have everyone just introduce yourself a little bit, share about what you teach within the building you're in. Gives me an idea of where to focus the content as we're working through the different resources so that we're using them in a way that will apply to you on a very quick basis. And so with that being said, I'm not going to go into any order. I'm just going to start with who's first on my screen. And so Kelly, is it Kindle? Okay, I'm going to let you go ahead and talk first and share with us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I'm Kelly Kindle. I teach at Excelsior Middle School in the Linn-Mar district. So I teach 6th grade science and social studies. I'm maybe more interested in resources for social studies than science, but as I've used a few resources in the past, and I'm social studies trained, so I've taught a 9th, 10th, and 12th grade social studies classes. Yeah, that's me.
Excellent. Well, welcome. All right, let's go to Crystal next. So I'll mute your audio here. There you are. Now you're live with your audio.
All right, I'm a 6th grade teacher as well. I'm at Regina, and I teach math and reading, but I do social studies to all the 6th graders. So I'm also looking for social studies info with everything changing.
And all of you are going to be in luck. We've added 2 really brand new products that are excellent this year, and the DE are supporting them as well. So I think it's going to be a win for you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Stephen. And if you guys want to go by a different name, please let me know so I do that. So I'll let you go ahead, Stephen, and tell us a little bit about you.
Can you hear me?
Sure can.
All right. I'm the director of the Compass Program Alternative High School at Linn-Mar. And so I looking for resources for our teachers. We have a small staff, but we work with a large variety of classes that teachers teach, and so we're just looking to add to that. I see Jenny Lou's out there, so hey, Jenny.
Hi, Steve.
Hey, excellent. Well, let's just segue right over to Jennifer then.
Hi. I used to teach with Steve when he was at McKinley, but now I'm at College Community. I teach world cultures at Prairie Creek. So I'm like a specialist teacher, and I have about 450 students I work with. And we discover cultures from around the world. And so I'm looking for some help with, developing my curriculum because it's brand new this year. So, 900 students in a year, it's kind of a lot, but it's doable. So.
Hey, all right. No challenge too big, huh?
Nope, not at all.
Excellent. All right, Amy, let's go over to you. Okay, your audio's on.
Okay. Amy O'Neill, I teach 5th grade language arts at English Valleys Elementary.
All right. And Michelle.
not a teacher currently. I have not been in the classroom for about 10 years. I am a full-time writer. I am in the process of renewing my teaching license, which is part of the reason I took this class. Part of the reason I took this subject is I have a child that has an IEP. So I am always interested in, I am very active in his IEP, in his classes, in his classrooms, trying to figure out what, he's a little nervous when it comes to tech. He has a rare form of dyslexia. He can't read white print on black print on white screens or black print on white paper. So tech has always been, he's a little shied away from it. So I'm always interested in finding technology that I can bring to him, and we can sit down and with the tech person, I live in Mount Vernon, and they are great about taking a technology piece and making it fit him, whether it's with layovers. He can read print, black print on yellow paper. So we do layovers with his computers and that type of thing. And they've been really helpful in finding different technologies. And I've been really helpful in bringing them technologies from Grant Wood that I've come across. So I've always had interest in that way. But so I'm probably the only one who's not teaching or not an educator at this moment. But so I'm kind of coming from it a little bit different perspective in the process of getting my teaching license back so that I can work in the area again. My degree fields are social sciences. I teach psych, social, law, history are normally what I teach at the high school level.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's go to Rob next.
I teach 6th grade over at Oak Ridge, which is part of the Linmar district. Social studies and language arts are what I teach right now. I think they're moving me more towards social studies next year, but that's still up in the air.
Okay, excellent. Maureen.
I teach 5th grade at St. Pius. I teach science, math, and religion. Been teaching for a while.
All right, thank you. And let's see. Danielle, if you want to, I can just read over to the side unless you guys want to pull up the chat. Not everyone has mics or video, and that's perfectly fine. It says she, Danielle, is one para at Hiawatha Elementary. She has been there the past 10 years and would love to learn more about online resources so she is able to help her classroom teachers when needed. Thank you, Danielle. And Bonnie Morris is 30 years of teaching with Grant Wood in Cedar Rapids School District. She has worked in the offsite programs her entire career, have taught 6th through 12th grade, and have taught nearly everything but language arts. This is her first year. She is teaching biology, and she is looking for science materials and life skills and government classes this year. And then it looks like Kelly, I hope I say this right, Moran, has a B. Can you talk, Kelly? You want to go ahead and introduce yourself? That's great. I'll let you introduce yourself. So you want to tell us about yourself? Or do you want me to just read what you've indicated? Okay, got it. All right. She is a BA in early childhood and elementary ed with 2 endorsements in reading and special education. She has been doing home daycare for 10 years. She is renewing her subbing license since her kiddos are getting older. She's excited to get back into the schools. Thank you, Kelly. And Lori, she's a 2nd grade teacher at Grant Elementary in Cedar Rapids. She I really need something for the beginner researcher. I have a group of high readers who are ready to research. Also, we have some great social studies units that I'd like help with. So a lot of different, variety of different people and backgrounds, and that's always great because I think we can all learn from each other as the time goes on together. And give me a second here. I know there's a couple others. Hang on. Brittany, are you able to go ahead and talk to us and tell us a little bit about yourself? Brittany, can you
Is it
hear?
working now?
Yes. Can you go ahead and share about yourself and background?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
My name is Brittany Rao. I sub at Northland where my kids go to school. My degree is in psychology, and so I have my substitute authorization. I was interested in taking this class because I'm asked to use online resources when I'm subbing, and it'd be much easier for me to navigate around, having dove into them a little bit more. And then also, from the ones that I've used, I think that there might be some time filler opportunities that I can use when classes get ahead and we're ahead of schedule with what the lesson plan has.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. That looks like everyone that's online at the present time. And as we have a couple others join us throughout the evening, I'll maybe at the appropriate time give them an opportunity to introduce themselves as well. Well, what I'm going to do now is kind of go over the course a little bit to give everyone some background as to what's all involved, and also to field any questions you might have. Tonight is really the only night you have to be on, or that I ask that you be online, so I can initially have that discussion with you about the expectations and how things will work week to week. And I know we have a couple of weeks in here for a couple of the units, just based on some dates that I felt we needed to avoid based on past experience. And so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to go right into the course itself. And has everyone been into the course yet?
Yes.
Are there any that have not gone into the course you're currently seeing on the screen? Because this is where everything's going to happen.
I don't think I have.
Okay, so those of you, hang on a second, those of you that are not in there just yet, we will do that at some point here. And there's a separate email with a registration key that'll get you in there. And we'll make sure that happens early on here tonight, probably when I have everyone do the introduction section on this page. And I can work with those individuals very quickly to make sure we can have that take place. But as you can see, this is the introductory course, or the integrating the AEA online resources into your classroom for the spring of this year. So we can think spring. We're on the introductory tab right now. So whatever is actually highlighted is where we are housed at that moment within the course. If it's highlighted or linked, that means you can actually get into that section. You'll notice the next weeks are grayed out. Those don't open. They're set to open on the Sunday before that particular week actually begins. And that has worked very well in the past so that people don't work way ahead, and it gives everyone an opportunity to respond, because there are different points where you need to do post and then respond to 3 others, and we'll go over that yet this evening too. All of you should have received the resource teacher account setups individually. I send those out to you one-on-one because it's different based on where you're located, even by building and district. So those do not all have to be set up. I've indicated the ones we'll use, and again, those are purely optional, but over the years, most teachers like to utilize those because then they can utilize that content from year to year and not have to go locate it again when they have it housed in their own teacher area within those particular resources that's available. Handouts and reference materials. I'm just going to click into that particular area right now. This is an area in which that you can actually go in, and I'll give it a second here to load. And it may take a little bit. Nope, it's not going to load that way. Hang on. I may have to do it a different way. Let's try it one more time. No, it's not going to load. I'll show it to you in a different manner. What that particular item will do for you is it will give you a breakdown of each individual resource, with the exception of one that was just recently added after the winter break, and that is American History and Video is brand new. And so that one will not show up on that particular flyer, but it gives you the age range recommended by each of the companies and a little brief description of each of the resources. And I might just go ahead and send that in an email to all of you yet tonight so you have that as a reference tool. And then with that being said, I'll let you at your own leisure work through each of the different sections here to read. One of the probably big things is I always like to do a quick check of the online survey to see how many of you have used the resources, and if so, which one. So if you'd like to go ahead and select that, it's 2 questions. If you want to click on that and indicate which resources you've used in the past and then the frequency of use, that's all I would need. And then that serves as a reference tool for me in terms of what you might already know. So I'll give you guys a couple seconds here to do that. And then we'll keep moving forward. And I'm going to stop sharing because oftentimes some people need to have that stop sharing to be able to activate their own screen. Okay. All right, I'm going to go back to screen sharing. Hopefully that was enough time. And that's something I'd also like to encourage all of you. If I move too quick, my pace, please let me know. I work with the content every day, and oftentimes because of my familiarity, I might move a little too quickly. And please let me know if I need to slow down so that you are able to obtain what you need to. Okay, I did pull down that flyer. I have it linked here, so I'm going to just select that right now so you can actually see it. And can you see that flyer right now? Anyone? Thumbs up? Perfect. Okay, so again, the only one that's not on here is American History and Video, which is brand new. And so you'll have that as a resource that you can utilize and reference. Okay, then we have an announcement and news forum. This is where if you have a question, I would encourage you to add a new topic. So if there's a particular resource we're working through and we're not together and you're working through it maybe tomorrow or the next day and you have a question that comes to mind, this is a great place to put that question because you may not be the only one. Someone else may have a similar thought about that particular resource as well. So what you would do is just click on the Add a New Topic. When you add a new topic, it'll ask for a subject. That's where you'll want to indicate which resource. And then a short little narrative about your question about the resource. And then you would actually go ahead and scroll to the bottom and then post it to the forum. And it looks to me like many of you are already very comfortable with doing that. From what I'm seeing located in the next area we're going to take a look at, which is Welcome and Introduction Forum. So again, that has been a good sounding board for an area to locate and learn more, and then people can go back and look at it each time. Next area we're going to look into is the welcome and introduction. I have this kind of set aside so that we can kind of get to know each other. And then at the same time, I encourage you to always reply to at least 3 different class members' posts and try not to make them the same individuals all the time. You don't have to read every post, but I encourage you to read as much as you have time for. I'm a firm believer that I don't want to make you have to do more work outside of here. So when we go through the different resources, if you elect to be here each time we meet, I give you time each week to actually look. I'll go through the resource, and I give you time to do exploring so that when you leave, and also time at the end to complete your post and replies. So when you leave that night, you're done till the next time we meet. You can also choose after tonight to go on your own and work at your own pace. And we'll just have some time frames established in terms of when each of those different initial posts need to be completed so everyone has an opportunity to respond. And then also when the responses need to be completed by. So with that being said, we'll keep moving forward. The course syllabus is the next area, and I don't know if you've had an opportunity to look at that at this time, but this actually tells you what the expectations are for each week. So the area we were just in, that welcome and introduction form, your initial post, and then 3 replies. And then there's different things that are noted here that you'll work through. There's a resource review forum. There's a check for understanding. Each of these will be in that first unit as you work through there, with the exception of the welcome and introduction. And that'll allow you to make those replies based on whatever resources are being covered each week. And then each week, different items pop up that you will need to look at. When it says presentation and exploration or exploring of the research content, that's your time after I've gone over a specific resource. So that's not actually like a graded, or it's you being able to take a look at it. You can look at the videos that have been created already in each of the areas as well for each of the resources. Please do what's best for your learning style. Okay, we're going to move back into that introduction area, and I hope everyone's watching how I just navigate with my breadcrumbs back to that area. The lesson objectives, I've noted for the first 2 here, so you can see what each of those are, what our overall goal is by the end of this unit. This first unit actually extends over 2 weeks, with next Wednesday being Ash Wednesday. I elected not to have that as a class night. And so that being said, this is one time, and there's one other time frame where you're going to have 2 weeks to complete a unit, or 1 week's worth of lessons if you're on your own too. All right, and then we'll move to how do you contact me? And many of you have already done a great job of that. Email, phone, either of those are fine. I pretty much live on the road. I'm a 1 of 1 at Grantwood, and so I serve all 32 of our public and then all of our parochial schools as well. So email's the best time to get me, or best way to get me, or if you want to call my cell phone, feel free to do that and let me know what's the best time to respond back to you. Otherwise, for the most part, the only time I kind of set aside is from 6 to 8:30 at night, so I can spend time with our 2 little boys, my husband. But otherwise, anything works for me. And if you want me to go over something with you individually, I'm welcome that opportunity to do that with you. Do we have any questions yet? Okay. Finally, one of the things they ask that we make everyone aware of is the privacy notice. Everything that happens in this course stays in this course, even when we're responding to each other. And that's simply because we have to honor what's taking place here, because it's not meant for everyone. It's just meant for each of you that are with us at this time. And that's something they want us to make you aware of. So with that being said, I will move forward. Any questions? Do you want to have a little bit of time to go through the introductory welcome form? If you do, that'll give me an opportunity to work with those that may not be online and see if there's some step that's I can help out with real quick. Does that sound okay? Give everyone maybe 5 minutes to take a look or complete an initial post.
That sounds good.
Okay, great. And that's all I need, someone to tell me let's do that, and we'll move forward that way. So I'm going to stop sharing. And if you want to, go ahead and click on that title for the welcome and introduction, and you can see the different posts that are already in there. And there are 7 of them. And then some have already replied. And I'm going to take a look and see who may not be in yet. And then, Rob, have you any luck getting in there yet?
I think I just got in, but I'm not 100% sure where I am, to be honest.
Okay, let me quick do a refresh. You are. I just saw you. Yep, it just came in. So you can follow along probably where we're at. So why don't you give me a second? I'm going to quick and look and see who's in here and who we need to get in here. So give me a second. You guys can look at that introductory, and I'll quick look through the list of those that are in the access point. Okay, it looks like only 2 of you need to get in yet. Lori, do you have what you need to do that? And also Danielle? Okay. Lori, do you have any success with the retrieval yet? And Danielle, do you need me to send that email over to you for access? And I'm watching the chat here to see what you guys say. Okay, appreciate the updates. And I see Deborah's online now with us. Excellent. Can you hear me, Deborah?
I can, yes.
Okay. You want to just give us a little background, like what grade you teach, that type of thing, and what you hope to obtain in the class even?
Yeah, I teach kindergarten at Summit Schools in Cedar Rapids, and I've used a lot of the online things before that have been very successful with the younger grades, and I'd like to know how I could use them better and be more successful in what I'm doing, and also if there's other online resources that would also be effective for these ages.
Excellent. Thank you so much. What we are currently doing, and it looked like you were logged into the course, is we're going in and completing the introductory. Here, I'll just quickly share it with you.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a second here. Move this over to the side. So we're under the introduction. I was going over the different expectations. We're in the welcome and introduction forum. And you'll want to read through there and then add a new post. And then you don't have to do it right now, but sometime through the course of tonight or over the course of the next week, reply to at least 3 other class members. And you look in the start by as to who the actual individual is that you're looking at. Over here indicates when a person is posted to a specific individual's discussion topic. Okay?
Yes, I think I did that earlier today.
Yes, I see. Now that you say that, I see that. You're way ahead of the ball game. Very good. Okay, great. All right. Give me a second. I got to read a couple more things here. Danielle and Lori, are you going to be okay if we move forward? Can you just let me know? And then, Steve, did you send me an email or? Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and then I'll move forward so we can work through at least tonight's. So we'll take us back into the course. And we'll move from the introductory now to the actual week 1. In this, what these are designed to do is if you choose, like I said, after tonight to work independently on your own, I have videos to take you through each of the different areas step by step. And so that'll help you work through what you would need to know with AEA Digital Library or Britannica. If you notice, they're hot linked if you hover over them. If you actually go on the icon itself, it will directly link you to the website for each of those resources. So I try to do it in a sequential order to make it easier for you as you're working through the course. So tonight, the different resources we're going to take a look at are AEA Digital Library, because we're looking at week 1 video content. And so we're going to take a look at AEA Digital Library. Video content that's available in Britannica. A lot of people aren't aware that there's video content located in there. Culturegrams the same way. And then Learn 360. By next week, I am going to back us up one, or not next week, in 2 weeks, we will revisit this area with the new resource I shared with you that has just been added statewide, American History and Video. I myself am just finishing all the training pieces of it, so I want to be through what I need to know before I share with all of you as well. And like I said, that just went live after the winter break, but it's all the history events and pieces that I think people are going to really find helpful as time goes on for social studies support content. So what we're going to do is I'm not going to actually take a look at the video itself that's been set aside. I'm going to link us out to AEA Digital Library. AEA Digital Library is a resource that is owned by all the AEAs in the state. So if a video content piece would ever go away, this one will never go away. We own it as a state, and so we are continually putting content in. Just a week ago, Thursday, the committee decided to purchase 52 new titles that are going to be going in here all over the board in terms of ranges, from elementary to kindergarten to middle school, high school, and all skill areas, including life skill areas. So we continually are looking for content. We look at our usage both across the state and locally as to what might be best meeting the needs for all of you. Because as an AEA system, we want you to have what you need when you need it and not when it might be available. So we're continually making that nudge to have that happen for you. So we don't have what they call turnaways. You get what you need when you need it. So with that being said, you can use your general login, which was in that one email where I included the different teacher accounts. This one can have a teacher account if you choose to have that. Or you can use the general login. The general login was at the base of the email. It's unique to every individual here based on the building you're located in. So it's going to be a series of 4 numbers followed by 4 letters, and then everyone's password is lowercase AEA10. That username and password is the same for all 24 resources you're going to learn about over the course of the next 5 weeks of classes. So that's something you're going to memorize and keep in your back pocket, so to speak, and that's also what your students use as well. If there's the teacher option, I'm going to show you why that might be beneficial, even with this resource, different than if you're logged in as a student. So with that being said, I'm going to go in and log in as Grant would on this particular resource. And I'm going to log in. I don't save my passwords only because I'm in so many buildings. I want to always check everyone's site. You'll know it's you if it's up here in that upper right-hand corner, indicating your specific building and or location. And then new things that have been added will always appear in this middle section that you see here. Give me a second. Let's see if I need to deal with that. Okay, Danielle, we're in, give me a second, everyone. We're going to back up it so she can see where we're at. We're in the video week 1 section, and if you click on AEA Digital Library, that'll take you into where we are currently at this main page. And then you'll have a username and password to log in. And that's the one that was sent in an email with 4 numbers followed by 4 letters, AEA10, and or if you're on a generic site, it's 5 letters, 10, and then AEA10. Okay, so with that being said, you can do a basic search. You can search by title, any of the different options you see here. You can do an advanced search, or you can even browse by grade level or subject area. The standards is another way that's being built out right now that you can search for. It's very limited right now as they add all those pieces in, but that's our hope, is to have that as another way you can search and find information very quickly. So I know there were quite a few people that had indicated social studies was an area of interest. So I just expanded the social studies area, and maybe I want to take a look at civil rights. So I can click on civil rights, and remember, this is not everything by any way, shape, or form. It's content that's owned by the AEAs, but we'll have many others that have historical content for social studies in it as well. So if I want to look at the full program, you can see the different ones that are actually coming up here for us to take a look at. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to select the very first one. And what it will do is it brings the actual video up for us. It gives us a little bit of background or description about the video content itself. And then a lot of times people don't want to show the whole video, but maybe a specific segment. The full video will always show up in the middle section to the left. And then off to the right where it says related content is where you can do segments of video. And so this would be an area that you may want to visit and take a look at that will better meet your needs. Give me a second. Okay. So you just click on it.
The idea that all men are created equal and that men form governments voluntarily to.
So I'm going to stop it there, but it gives you an idea of what functionality we actually have available with this, where you can go full screen. You'll notice I actually have the closed captioning on. Many of our resources now, we have that capability, our transcripts. You do have the option to download the video if you'd like to do so. And so all those pieces are available to you. Now, I'm going to click on the resource tab. This is where if we were, you're going to notice some differences here as I log out of it as a general user or a student and log in as a teacher. I'm going to show you the standards tab. So as they're getting all this entered in, you can very quickly see what standard it's meeting. They're doing a beautiful job of implementing this piece for us. And then the citation information is a copy and paste, and we've even indicated that for the students too. So we try to make it a very user-friendly location for everyone. I'm going to log out now. If you elect to have a teacher account, I'm going to log in. You would log in as yourself. And I'm going to show you the difference. So it'll tell you you're in as you. But let's go back to that same video. So I'm going to go down here to civil rights, that same program. When I click on the resource tab now, here's all my teacher guide materials available to me. So as a student, you can see none of that was visible. As a teacher, you have access to any of these things you want to use. You can use them however you see best within your class itself. But that's one of the main reasons behind the teacher account is it's going to give you quizzes, it's going to give you different worksheets, different guides, all those resources that will help you better prepare your students in learning about that civil rights piece. Now you may say, okay, so how can I look at this later on down the road? So when you're logged in as you, I can now start creating playlists. So I'm going to add it to a playlist, and I'll show you this way more than once. And I'm going to make a brand new one, and I'm going to call it Civil Rights. And I'm going to label it February 2018. You can put a descriptor in if you'd like. But what's the beauty of having a playlist is you can start to lay out a course or support materials for a unit and not have to look for them like Jennifer, you said you work with 900 students. Okay, so once you find this, those that you work with first semester, you have the content. You don't have to go search for it second semester. You can have it housed in here and pull it when you need it to match those units of study. Sure, there's going to be a little front-end work, but you can see that was very easy to complete those steps. And then you launch it right from here. And it'll take you right back to that main page for playing. Any of these can be embedded on a Google website. If you have a Google website, just remember when you're linking it, link it with the view links down below. So when you link it, make sure you're copying this persistent link so it doesn't get into anything that's on your side as a teacher. So use that view links, and that persistent link is what you're going to copy and paste and then embed in your Google courses.
So, quick question, sorry. So
Sure.
It's kind of like the YouTube playlist that you could do and create like that, and then you could have it like with all your different videos.
You mean, could you use YouTube and bring this?
No, so this is like what you're sharing. It's kind of like the YouTube playlist.
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So if you were to log out and come back in later, great question, Jennifer. You would click on My Account, and here they all are going to be alphabetical. So I can go directly to what I want to link and look at, and it's going to go to that specific topic that I selected. This is where I can edit and also get rid of it if I want to, or make some additions. That link's there. If I had more than one video in this area, that would be where I could actually locate those as well. If you have multiple videos that support that topic area, you can link them in each of those areas. So I'm trying to think if I have, no, I only got one in there right now too. Because I always keep recreating. I'm one of these that I want to show you how it's done and keep doing it so it becomes familiar to all of you. So
I have a question.
Sure.
Just since I'm just getting back, obviously, into this.
Okay.
Is there, with these playlists, is there kind of they're only good for 2 years and then it kind of rolls over? They're good indefinitely. They're good until I go to a different building. They're good.
Okay, great question.
How does that work?
With this particular resource, since it's owned by the AAs, it will never go away. The only way a playlist is deleted, or the items within the playlist, is if you yourself, when you're logged in as you, go under your account and physically delete it like I am right now.
Okay.
Now my error is gone. I no longer have it till I recreate it.
Because obviously I know how important it is when you do a lesson plan that once you've done it, you don't want to have to redo it and redo it and redo it.
Correct.
Once you have a good solid, it's not that you don't add to it or change it up. I mean, you're always wanting to change things up based on, new things happen, the world changes, but
sure.
Being able to have some basics that are there. But like I said, I'm kind of new, so just, wanted to know if there was a timeline or an expiration date on.
There isn't on these. If you move from building to building, that would be an email to me. And then when we make that change in the system, we'll connect what you have with your new location so that it moves with you.
Okay.
Okay, that is something you'll need. It's like when you contact the media center, if you move you're in the same district, but you move a different building. When we find out about that, we connect your content with you and it goes with you.
Okay.
Okay.
I have one question, which is
Sure.
behind everybody else. I know that the password is AEA10. What is the username again?
It's going to be unique for each of you. That would be in the email I sent where it gave the teacher count. At the very bottom is your login.
Okay.
Okay. And it's going to vary. It's going to be 4 numbers followed by 4 letters and then the AEA10.
Okay.
And Maureen, I can look it up for you here real quick and tell you if you want.
Okay.
Okay, you want to look at that and then we can do that?
Sure.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
So when you were talking about linking to Google things, like, is that for students then? Like if you link that, students can get in to watch it without any codes whatsoever?
Okay, they may have to use their general login for your school building that you have, unless you're IP authenticated. If you're IP authenticated and they're in your building, when they click that link, it goes directly to the video.
Okay.
But if they don't watch it until they're at home, they're still going to need that username and password that you all have, and works for any resource, and that'll get it. But they'll click on the link, type in their username and password, and it automatically brings it up. So it's not like going to lose it. It's just going to authenticate them in.
Okay.
That's all it will do. Great question. Other questions?
I have one question too. I
Sure.
use Google Classroom a lot. So because of so many students, I don't want to kill trees.
Sure.
So I could link a video into my Google Classroom the same way,
Most definitely.
and that should be just the same.
Right.
And they should be able to pull it up then too.
Right. Oftentimes what people are doing with the Google Classroom is they'll type in civil rights, or however you lay out that unit, and then they'll link the actual, hot link, the words, and I know you're all familiar with that. And that way it'll take them right into there. And if they need that username and password, you could post it there if need be. Just you have to make sure that I can't see it, that it's a closed network.
So it's like my students can only access it with a password.
Then you can post it.
Okay. Awesome.
If it's an open network, you cannot. But if it's a closed one that's specific to your students, yes, you can post it.
Awesome.
Okay. Another great question. Thank you. Okay. So you can see the benefits of having a teacher account versus a student account. And let's see. Let's go and do one more here. Would it help if I show you how to save again? All right. So what's the topic someone's working on right now? We'll just take a look.
Weather.
Weather?
Yeah.
Okay, so weather, search. All right, so maybe the air around us, and this may not be the one, but we're just pulling it up for now. You can see it also tells you the grade level it's appropriate for, so that may be helpful for you as in the future too.
Can you put it on the share screen?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Let me go back.
I thought I was just missing something. Thank you.
No, my error. Let me go back. We'll do that search over so everyone can see it. Okay, so can you see my screen now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so I'm typing in weather, and then I'm searching. So I click search down below, and I'm just going to select the air around us. And you'll notice, again, I can do the full video, which is off to the left, or I can do the different segments that might better fit what I'm working with my students on right now. So I'm just going to pick what's in the air and change that. And now, let's just take a look real quick. What resources are available to me? Okay, as a teacher, I have a bunch of JPEG images that have been pulled directly out of the video I can now use. Here's my teacher's guide. So I'm going to click on my teacher's guide. And my teacher's guide will come in as a PDF. Looks to me like it's a lot of pages. 15. So it's going to give me, and pardon the scroll here, but it's going to give me learning objectives, assessments. It's going to kind of give me that overview, vocabulary. So I'm going to scroll kind of past the script, because they actually write the script out now. You as a teacher have that answer key now for each of the different things that are available to you. So what do you know? So they can fill in the blank. This is something you could also just share and project over your in your classroom using your data video projector. And you can see the different things that are down here. A video review. So what they should be looking for is they're watching the video if you choose to do the whole thing. I'm not so fond of word searches, but that one has one. But here, now you can make some connections here. Match the correct definition and the actual word. Oftentimes, you'll even see labs in here. So they give you a lot of resources that you can duplicate in whatever manner you want to. No limits on that. You can post it within your site. You can display it within your classroom. Student may be out with the flu for 2 or 3 days, and maybe you want to send it home if they're filling up to watching a video and having that worksheet. You can do that with any of these types of things. So that's another benefit to having digital content. Now, we're going to go ahead and save this. So I'm going to add it to a playlist. This time, I'm going to create a brand new one. I'm not going to add to an existing one because I already deleted my error one. So I'm going to type in error February 2018, create playlist. It's created my playlist here. And does anyone remember if I log out and come back in, where would I find it?
Your My Account.
My account. So I click on my account, click on look for error, February 2018, view, and it's going to pull that video up ready to go. So how would I expand this to a full frame on my computer or my screen?
The small 2 arrows to the right.
Correct. And then if I want closed captioning, if I want to download it, oftentimes people will download video if you have bandwidth issues at certain times during the day within your building. If you have it downloaded, you don't have to worry about buffer time because this is hitting a server for everyone in the state of Iowa. I haven't had too much difficulty over the years with pulling it down like I am right now. Occasionally, you could have something pop up within your building if you have different times of day where you have kids on devices. And so you just have to kind of be aware of that. But great. That's kind of where this one's at. I'll take us back.
You can add multiple things to that same playlist as well, correct?
Okay. Let's just do that. Great question. I'll go back to error, research. Let's just pull this one in. It may not fit, but we're just going to we're doing it for the sake of doing it to show you. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to add to a playlist. This time I'm going to use my pull-down menu because I'm wanting to go to one that's already created. I select error Feb 2018 add. So now when I go up to my account, I go to error. Okay, it's going to pull the very first one up. But if you notice your playlist, you have both of them. So you can toggle between them. And if you have more than one, you have like multiples, you'll just have to kind of scroll down to get the one you want to pull up for the students to view at this time.
But you get to see the resources and stuff for both.
Oh yeah. So if I'm in this one, here's my there are no resources for this one.
Okay.
So let's back up. I'll back up a second. Let's go to this one. And there are resources for that one. Okay. So whichever one you have pulled up, you can see what resources are available.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep, thank you.
Any questions on that? Okay, so we'll go back to the main menu. And I know we spent quite a bit of time on this, but I think it's important to kind of see how it all works too. And then you can decide what works best for you. So if you were to hover over any of the plus areas, so for instance, language arts, this is an area we haven't really built out in this system. The areas that are built out pretty extensively are in the science area, in the social studies area, and then also up in the health area and guidance and counseling. Those are things that they're one. And like I said, we've just made the decision to purchase 52 new titles that I think will be very, very helpful too. And if you have things that you think might be beneficial, let me know. I wear that state hat now for all the AEAs, so that's another part of my job, is I'm continually looking at content to better serve the needs of all of our teachers and students in the districts too. and then I take that back to the committee of each AEA member. So, okay. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to give you, how about 15 minutes to take a look at this in here and see if there's anything that might be helpful.
Kathleen?
Yes.
I still need a username.
Okay.
So was it Maureen? So
I'll gladly help you.
okay, I'm sorry. I got into the new user registration, but I don't have. I cannot seem to locate a username. I'm sorry.
No problem.
How do we get to that screen that you were on from here without losing you?
You can just open another. You can open another window.
Okay, I gotcha.
Okay.
Just put in AEA.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Okay, give me a second. I'm looking it up.
I'm sorry. So am I, but I just don't.
That's okay.
Oh.
Okay. Do you have access to your email right now?
Yeah, I do on my phone.
Okay, I'm going to send it over to you right now.
Thank
In
you.
a separate email, and I'm just going to call it username and password.
Okay, thank you.
And this you'll use for all the resources unless you
Okay.
set up a teacher account. Okay, it just went to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I just couldn't find it.
Oh, no problem. So I'm gonna be quiet, but I'll be here, and I'll give you till 7:15, and then we'll come back and we'll take a look at another one.
There we go. Okay. Oh, it's ours. Okay.
Did that work for you?
Yeah, yeah, it's our school one. I didn't realize. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay.
You're good then.
Yeah. Okay, register. Whoop, wait a minute. Username is not available. Please choose a different username.
Give me a second and I'll try it. Did you get in?
Nope.
Okay, I just tried it. It works. This, if you have cap locks on,
I don't. Yeah,
okay.
I don't.
Try again, because I just tried that exact same one, the 1053.
Yeah.
And it went in immediately.
I'm just trying to register.
Oh, you want to do the register for it? You want a teacher account?
I do.
Okay, that's something different. Give me a second and I'll send that over to you. Give me a second.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
No, well, I think I did too. I'm sorry. Yeah. I kept getting behind and I couldn't catch up. So,
Okay, I just sent you everything you need to know for setting that up.
okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having trouble signing up for the Britannica online.
What's it giving you as a code? Or is it?
Maybe I'm just having trouble following instructions.
Okay, let me ask you this. Are you getting a screen that asks for username and password and it's blue?
I am, instead of, because
Okay.
like my second thing is to click on the word middle, but I'm not finding a word middle that I can click on.
Here's what's going on. It's an authentication issue. I'll walk you through it. I helped someone earlier tonight with that same thing.
And you gave me a username.
Okay, so here's what you need to do initially, and then your steps will work from this point forward.
Okay.
That username and password that you have for all resources.
Okay.
Okay, put that in those two spots.
Okay.
Log in. And then you should see your different size trees appear. The seedling up to the full tree in the middle, and the middle one should be available.
Now my okay, password key. Incorrect username or password.
Are you using, give me a second, let me look.
I'm going off the sheet that you sent me directly, since I'm not affiliated with any school.
Okay, are they all lowercase? That's the one I'm using tonight, and it's going in immediately with things.
Yeah, it's all lowercase.
Okay, try it one more time. No spaces.
Okay. I'm gonna click out of it and start all over.
Okay.
Because everything else I've had to create my own password. Like for the AEA digital library I created.
Right.
I did
that one. Correct. There's 4 of them.
Right.
4 things.
So enter the school code that I have for every other school code on here, correct?
No, it's going to be a different one for that resource. Here, I'll send it to you.
Or use the school, is it the one that's listed in step 9?
Give me one moment.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And that's the one I use. So I use that as my username.
No. You'll set up your own username.
Okay. Right now it's asking me to log in or sign in.
Okay, that's where you're going to put with the blue screen.
Yep.
Okay, that's where you're going to put the GWAEA10.
Okay.
And then the AEA10.
So GW.
AEA10.
Okay.
And then the password. Then you should be able to see
And the password is what again? Sorry.
AEA10.
Okay. Sign in.
And now do you see the middle?
Yep. Now I can click on
Now
it.
all those steps will work for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You bet. Okay, Lori, I'm going to put the enrollment. Do you still need the enrollment key? I'm just catching up in the chat area. Oh, never mind. I see you found it. Thank you. Steve, if you're wanting to set up your Britannica, if you go back to the actual course and click on the blue banner that says Britannica School Edition, that'll take you to where you can start setting up and logging in. Danielle, how are you doing? Okay, I had a couple people that would like me to show again how to save something in the library when you set it up on your own. So we'll quick go back to that screen and do it one more time. I firmly believe the more you do things, the easier it becomes. So we'll move into the library here, and we'll go back to that weather unit that we started looking at. Kind of fitting when we're in the midst of another round here. Okay, so this time I'm going to select something different. I'm going to look at the atmosphere. And you can see what I did is I actually searched weather, and it brought up 21 different items within AEA Digital Library. This time I'm going to select the atmosphere. And remember, we don't always have to use the full program that's on the left. You can use the individual segments that are located on the right under the related content area. So we're going to stick with the atmosphere. I'm going to select it and bring that into the main screen now on the left. And, oh, wait a minute. I got to log in as me. Hang on. Sorry about that, folks. So if you decide to do your own individual account, log in as you and not as the school or the AEA, and we'll redo that step one more time. So I'm logged in as me now, as the teacher. I'll go in and type in that weather unit. You guys are doing a great job with all this, by the way. I'm going to scroll down and select atmosphere, and then go to my right column of my segments and pull up just the atmosphere. And now I'm going to add it to a playlist. So I click on add to a playlist, and I'm going to add it. I'm going to do it two different ways. I'm going to add it to my air unit that we did earlier tonight with the pull down menu and click add. So if I go to my account, Feb 2018, click on view, I'll pause the one that's going to come up, but now look, now I have 3 in my scrolling area of my playlist because it's highlighted, we're in my playlist. And if I want to switch to the atmosphere, I click on the atmosphere, it will pull up that specific title. And now we'll do it one more way. So we're going to go back to the main menu. And I really appreciate you asking the questions that are going to help you with your units. Type in weather. Go back down to atmosphere. Select atmosphere. And this time we're going to create a brand new one. We're not going to add it to an existing playlist. We're going to create a brand new playlist called atmosphere. Create new playlist. So now I have a new playlist entitled Atmosphere. When I go to my account, Alpha Order, Atmosphere, and I'm going to pause it, and there's that video, that segment that I pulled up. Does that help everyone? Okay, give me a second. I'm reading what people have written. Bonnie, are you having trouble in the AEA digital one? Because if you are, it's going to send you an email link that you're going to have to go to your email and then finish the rest of it. So check email, and we'll come back and I'll help you with that as the night progresses. Okay, what I'm going to do now real quick, another one of our members has joined us. I'm going to let Julie introduce herself and tell us where she's from and what she does as well. So welcome, Julie.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I am.
You talking on that thing?
I am talking on this.
No, behind you.
Okay. Sorry, I'm still at the church, and people are leaving from Belquire. No, I am curriculum consultant at Grantwood AEA, and I serve 5 different districts, and I work with the special education teachers on literacy strategies. This year I'm also serving on the accessible instructional materials team at the agency. So that's kind of why I wanted to dive in here to see if there's anything more that I can take back to our team in the digital world of learning.
Oh, there will be. When you mention what you're doing, Julie Freed loves our resources. So
yes,
there you go. You will learn a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome.
Thanks.
All right. Great. Okay, everyone. So I'm going to pull us back together. I know we took just a little longer, but trying to get everyone in and going where we need to be. And I think that's very valuable on that first night that we're together. One thing I didn't cover, and I will right now, I think it's a good point to do that. So I'm going to go back to share screen here. Within the course, something I didn't discuss with you, and I apologize for not doing that, is what the actual overall arching goal is when you complete things here. The end product for your, I should say the final project for this class is utilizing a minimum of 3 different resources that you've learned about over the course of these 5 different nights or the 7-week time period, and looking at how that can better inform and serve as an instructional piece for your students. So a couple different avenues. So if I'm a science teacher and I'm doing a unit on the life cycle of a butterfly, I'll just take that as an example. What I may elect to do, and I'm going to pause now because this is just the grading piece, what I may elect to do is use AEA Digital Library and show them a video on the life cycle of a butterfly. I may have them go into EBSCO and read a few articles related to the life cycle of a butterfly. And then I may go into, let me think, what would be another good one? Learn 360 and pull up content related to the life cycle of a butterfly. You show me where you put that in your curriculum or unit of study, and that would meet the expectation. So I don't believe in reinventing the wheel. I believe in taking what you currently have and adapting it to have a better end product that you're delivering to your students. Now, if you're a paraeducator and you're working one-on-one with a student, look at the resources that would benefit that child or children that you work with. Tell me which resource, what you would use within that resource, and how it would help them. So in 2 to 3 sentences, what will the outcome be of using BookFlix and having this student hear it read aloud to them? So that's what I'd be looking for in a short narrative. Again, 2 or 3 sentences for each of the resources you would utilize. If you're providing support in the area of curriculum as a consultant, take a look at one of the schools you're working with, and or if you're looking at your literacy supports, determine what resources might be beneficial as you're working with your different teachers out in the districts. Tell me which resource, what you would hope to have them gain by using that resource in a short narrative, small paragraph, not lengthy, and that's all I'm asking. So you can be thinking about that as we're working through each of the weeks, or if you're, like I said, after tonight, you work on your own, and that just, you have a window of time to turn that in March, and that's what I'd be looking for at the end. But then again, everyone does a initial form post each week, 3 replies to some one different, and that will meet the course expectations, as well as I see how much time you spend in here. It records it all in the background. So I know when you're in at what time of day or night. And so I know if you're spending enough time in the resource itself. But like I said, I want you to try to get everything you can done during the class time so that your time is spent looking at other ways that you might implement it or even use it during our time together. So hopefully that answers for the new people too. All right, so now we're going to move forward. Thank you for that segue. And the next area we're going to take a look at in week 1 is Britannica. So again, if you want to watch the video sometime down the road, you can do that on Britannica, and I'll walk you through. But click on the Britannica logo, and that'll take us into here. If you do not have a teacher count set up, that's not necessary. Again, those are purely optional. If you want to, you can do that. I'm going to log in as me. And this would be the screen you would see whether you're logged in as you or whether you're logged in as a student. And we have a wide variety of areas, but what we're looking at solely is video content. So I'm going to search weather since we selected that as a unit of interest tonight. And now what it's done is it's searching the middle school level of Britannica, so that's grades 6 through 8. I go to my video tab, and I now have 11 video clips, short in length, that I could maybe use one or more to share with my students. So if I wanted to show them a typical thunderstorm, I can do that. If I want to save that content, I click on the star. And now I'm going to call this Weather Feb 2018. Whoops. Sorry, hang on. I got to create it because I'm doing a brand new one I haven't done before. So under the create a new resource pack, I'm just doing this so we can locate it easy or quickly. Create. And so now it's created it. And what it does is it builds like what I would call tags. So you can actually have it in more areas than just weather. So I'm going to X out of this now. I'm going to go to my content because I'm logged in as me. You can see I have 70 items. My most recent one will appear at the top. And there's my weather unit. Now I can add notes to this if I choose to do so. And it will directly link me to that video content. Again, I have
the typical thunderstorm.
I have the same option to go full frame if I want to. And then my actual narrative is underneath so my students can follow along as it's being read. So that's what's unique. A lot of people don't think of Britannica as having video content in it, but it has video content in it. Actually a wealth of video content, very short. But a great way that you can utilize and find information. Give me another topic besides weather that someone's working on. And we'll just stick to the middle school right now because we're just doing video content. Another topic.
Ancient Greece.
Ancient Greece. Okay, so I've pulled up Ancient Greece, images and video. And here's my video links. Anytime you see that play button. And this one may not have, it only has a couple of them, but there are a couple of videos in there. So I'll go through the steps for saving. I click on the video. I click on the star. I'm going to call it Ancient Greece. Create. So now I X out of there. I come back in tomorrow. I go into my content, Ancient Greece, and my video is ready for me to use. Again, I can add any notes that I want to here. And maybe I want to make sure I link it to the first part of a unit on ancient Greece, or maybe I want to have it ahead of something, you can do that too. So you have a lot of options available to you as to what you want to do. Okay. So any questions on how you would search for video content? Okay. And like I said, I'm only looking at video content. So I'm going to give you, is 10 minutes enough to take a look? Okay. So 10 minutes, I'll stop screen share, take a look, and see what you can find.
Kathleen.
Yes.
Britannica is not letting me use my password either. I'm just failing at this. I don't know.
Now, Britannica is going to be the same. You're going to use the same thing that you did for the school piece first.
Right.
Okay. So have you done that?
I did, yes.
Okay. So once you've done that, give me a second here.
Yep.
Let me go all the way out and go in as I'm going into it the first time.
Okay.
Hang on, I'll share a screen here with you. Sometimes, I don't know about you, a visual helps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, give me a second. Switching over. Okay, so let me get into that Britannica page first. Oh, come on here. I'm just going through a different entry point, but okay.
Sure.
So did you get to this page?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you want to log in as you, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, as my school.
Okay, if you're to this page, you're already in.
Well, when I click on, okay, now I've lost me. When I click on a movie and then the star, it says log in.
Okay, so then you have to click on, here, let's do it this way. I know what you're trying to do. So I'm just going to pull up weather.
Yep.
So I'm going to go to my video. I'm going to click on another one.
Yep.
I hit my star.
Yep.
That's what you get, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so now click on login.
Yep.
This is where you put your username and password in, not the school's. If you've set up your own teacher account.
I have not.
Okay, so that's what it's asking for, because you can't do that on the student side. So if you want me to send that to you too?
Yep. Thank you.
All right, you bet. That's what I'm here for. And I apologize for the trains. We're right next to a track, and there's like, I forget, 60-some trains that go through every day.
Mm-hmm.
Nighttime is busy.
Kathleen, can you do the links to like Google Classroom on this one as well? Like just use the link button. You'll do the same thing where the kids could watch the video on their own.
I changed my password on the AEA Digital Library, and I feel like that was an accomplishment.
Kathleen? Kathleen?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I need to leave in about 5 minutes. Is there anything I need to know about the rest of this class or next week?
We don't meet next week
Okay.
due to it being Ash Wednesday. We will meet the following week. So you're going to have all from tonight all the way till that next, all the way through next week and that Sunday to complete week 1.
Okay.
And you'll need to do your forum post, your initial post. Normally you would have to have those done by Friday, tonight or Friday of the week we're in.
Mm-hmm.
And then your 3 replies to other class members the Tuesday night before class of the next week. So
Okay.
you have till the 20th to get everything for week 1 done. But then after that, it's going to be
Every week.
correct.
Okay. Now I've made a post and replied to 3 others already. Does that cover that part of it, or do I need to do it again?
That's your intro. You'll
Yeah.
have one for week 1. Let me quick show you. I'll just show everyone.
Okay.
Sometimes it's easy. Or easier, I should say. Okay. So if you're in week 1, down below, you'll want to take your quiz. This is not great. It's just to kind of give you an idea of your understanding of the resources from tonight. But you're going to need to go into the video resource assignment. It asks you what to do, or it tells you what to do here. You'll add your topic just like you did in your introductory forum, and then you'll reply to 3 other people's posts. And as you can see, no one has anything in here because we have only been through 1 and now we're in the second one. So we still have Culturegrams and Learning 360. I think what I'm going to do also, I'm going to back up here to week 1. I've had quite a few of you indicate you may have a conflict on a given night. So that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and add at the top of each unit or week, it'll say week 1 recorded session, and I'll put that in there. So if you're here for this long and you haven't had the opportunity to see the other items and would like to up till the 9 o'clock hour, you can go in and fast forward that video through and look at it. It cannot be posted until tomorrow because it's going to take time for it to render, and I'll post it in the morning. And then I'll send an email out to all of you that it's been posted. So if you want to reference that as opposed to going through the video pieces, you can certainly do that. Same thing would apply if you come in a little later and want to catch up, you can do that too. Or you can work independently and go through the different pieces on your own.
Or if we just want to rewatch it for...
Sure can.
Sure, I probably will. Thank you so much.
That would be great.
This has been a wonderful introduction to what we're doing.
So quick question, Deb. Are you planning to be here each week? Because I kind of want to get a gauge on who's going to be here and not be here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I need to know right now. Okay, very well.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night and know that you got a little bit of time here to get into everything and look around. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, is everyone else ready to move on, or you want a stretch break? Kind of what I do is when we have these pockets that you can explore on your own, please feel free to step away for a few minutes if you need to. I'm pretty easygoing with that. Just let me know what's going to work best for you. Okay, Kelly, real quick, I'm going to help you out. So you probably have a blue background right now. Is that accurate? With Britannica? Okay, Lori, okay, good, school name, password. All right, Kelly, you're going to put in that general login that you'll use for all 24 resources that was at the base of that email I sent out to you. The 4 numbers followed by the 4 letters and then the AEA10. Then you'll have the tree show up, and then you'll be able to set up your own account from that point forward. Okay? Now I'm going to go back to Lori here real quick. Lori, you would use that same login, general login, if you're trying to get into the system. Otherwise, you're going to need to do the same thing I just told Kelly, that you'll have to use your general login because you're probably at home and not in your building, so it's not IP authenticating through. And then you'll follow the steps from that point forward to set up your teacher account, and then you'll be ready to go. Okay? All right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move us forward to the next area. Just a quick gauge while I'm moving to that. Am I going at a pretty good pace or too fast? Please let me know. If I need to slow it down, I can.
It's good for me because we get time during the breaks if we have extra questions or one-on-one questions.
Perfect.
Personally.
Others, is this about the way or do you like the way we're doing this? A couple more people, if you'd provide feedback, that'd be great.
I think it's great. I'm just wondering for some of these videos how to sort of embed them into some presentations and things like that. I'm worried that to access them, I have to log in to a bunch of things. I'm hoping that's not the case.
I got Stephanie. You're in Linmar, aren't you?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, let me check, because some schools, do you use Google Classroom or what's your platform you're using?
I don't currently use Google Classroom, but I do Google Drive, and so I will embed videos in presentations, and from YouTube it allows you just to put them right in the link, and I'm finding that from the Britannica I will have to download the video and then upload it to Drive and then put it into my presentation in order to have it there, so that it's sort of seamless when I'm teaching.
Okay.
So that I guess that's how I normally use video clips like that, kind of embed them into presentations that I'm giving. And
sure.
So
okay. All right, I'm going to move us forward. We're going to go into Culturegrams. Culturegrams, wonderful resource. Jennifer, you'll love it.
I already started looking through it. I love it. It is like I needed this at the beginning of the year.
Hey, but your second semester students will
Oh,
be.
no, totally. It is amazing.
Okay, so you're going to need to log in using that general login. So your 4 numbers followed by your 4 letters, or a couple of you, I've got you using the GWAEA10 and then the AEA10. This one does not provide a teacher account, so you can only get in it this one way. But what's great about this is you can look at video content from anywhere. They're adding to this all the time. So if you want to go directly into video, you can do that. Or if you have a specific area that you'd like to research, maybe you want to look at China. So I can use my pull down menu, pull up China, and where your video content shows up, and you can see right here, for those of you that ask about linking to your Google account or linking to saving to Drive or a classroom, it's all embedded right here for you. So Culturegrams has done a nice job at giving you all those links to do it. But the video content is located on the right-hand column. You just have to go down a little ways. And then once you bring that up, your videos are listed in title. And oh my goodness, they've added 2 or 3 just since I've been in here. That's great. So maybe I want to show concrete tamping for some reason. It's always going to come up with this same blue screen you see here that gives kind of an overview or a little bit of background on what the video might be. And then you're going to actually see the video itself. It's a very short one, not very long. It was like 46 seconds in length. You do have the option of downloading this if you choose to do so, and you can do that as well. That's another option that you have available to you. And then you can store it where you want to at that point in time. So I'm going to go back here real quick. But they have a lot of, what's nice about Culturegrams is they're adding to it daily. They hire people all over the world that are working for the company for ProQuest. So it's no longer outdated, it's current all the time. They're adding to it all the time. So for instance, if you want it, and there's that one I just downloaded, if you wanted to look at the instruments one, and I kind of wanted to show you this one, it's kind of a favorite of mine. It was one of the first ones that was introduced to me. But to give you an idea of how they put it together, it's a combination of different things. And I know some of our music teachers have really liked this for like the music appreciation, looking at the culture pieces.
Period of China, about 771 to 221 BC. It was popularized during the Qing dynasty in China. In the beginning, we have 5 notes. The tone was a lot softer, and it's harder to bend. The wood has always been paulownia wood for the faceboard. Right here, the sound chamber, they use paulownia wood. Over the dynasties, they changed it from 5 strings to 12 strings. Later on, it evolved to 14 and 15 strings. For a while, China was very war-torn, and a lot of the traditional music was disappearing.
I'll stop there, but as you can see, they've done a nice job of transitioning and showing you and telling the story of how all of that music came together in different pieces as well. And so just know that you have video content in here that you can select and use with your students to better help them understand or visualize what different parts of the world may be like and what sets it apart from what we experience day to day here in the United States. So again, the way you can search for that, you can go by either region or country, and I just went by country. It'll take you to that page. It's located in the right-hand column under More Features, Video Gallery, and it will pull up the different pieces that are currently available to you, and then you just select them and then you have them ready to play. So another avenue for delivery of video content for your students from all over the world. So I'm going to give you a little bit of time to look at that because we're not really getting into the whole area of the video piece. We're just taking a look at the whole area of Culturegrams. We're just taking a look at the video section. So why don't I give you till 8:05 with that, and then we'll come back, so about 10 minutes. Okay, again, Culturegrams, it's located in your course. I'll go back there. Someone just asked about that. Hang on. So we're in the course, week 1, and then select Culturegrams. And then that will open the window here. And you can choose to click on the video piece. And then that'll bring you to an alphabetical listing and allow you to search by either region and or country alphabetically. Okay, let me see what else I have here for questions.
I'm looking and it only gives me Britannica and Online 360, I guess. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong.
Steve, were you in the course itself?
I thought it was.
Okay, hang on here. I'll take you back. Is this where you were at?
Hang on, I'm going to open it up. No, I don't know. I'm not sure where that is, actually. I'm trying to figure out how to get back there.
So that's your Moodle course itself.
All right, hang on.
We have cave music is good. People dance.
I'm looking at it. It says week 1 video.
Have cave to play for him every connection.
Week 1 video. Okay, so if you have that highlighted.
Oh, I found it. Okay,
There you
I'm
go.
sorry.
No problem.
So it's like, what in the heck am I doing wrong here? So.
Good question that's been asked. Is the worldview okay for sixth graders? It's on the edge. They recommend that really for 7 through 12 and the use of the kids version. But if you view it and feel it's okay, then you can use it. But that's what the company recommends. Good question. Julie, I sent you a couple of chats.
Isn't that kind of a good rule of thumb anyway, to preview it before you show it
Most definitely.
to any audience?
Mhm.
I mean, in general.
Mhm.
I know my 18-year-old son is still bringing home permission slips for him to watch rated R movies in class, in history classes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, you're 18, sign it yourself.
Okay, I'm going to pull this all back together again. And we'll go ahead and take a look at our next area. Okay, so the next area we're going to take a look at is Learn 360. Learn 360, if you just, from our Moodle course, if you click on the logo that you see on our screen right now, this will take you to the login page. This one also, you can use that general login, so your 4 numbers followed by your 4 letters, the AA10, or if you have set up a teacher account, you can elect to do that. Just like with the AA Digital Library, you will not see the teacher information available to you unless you have a teacher account. You will only see the student side. So I'm going to go in as a teacher at this point, and I'm going to log in. I'm going to move this over here a second, just a minute. And you'll notice I'm logged in as the teacher. It'll be in the upper right-hand corner. We try to work with our companies very closely to make sure we have similar navigation so it becomes very apparent for our end users. Learn 360 gives you many ways in which to locate content, and again, this is mostly video content. There are some other things you'll see as we go through it. But the main features, I'm going to just kind of go through a couple different things here, and then we'll get into a few of the different ways to access and locate information. So the main features are listed here. There are usually 5, and when you use the arrow to the right, that will bring you into additional information. So it'll show only 4 on your screen. You'll have to use the arrow to toggle forward to the next set of 20, or you can do a view all, which will list them in order for you. So these are the most popular being viewed in Iowa right now. These are like the top 20 within Learn 360. So it looks like there's probably someone that's doing a unit on arts, in the art area on Mona Lisa. Looks like we're looking at some environmental issues, definitely health. Looking at some science-related topics. Not surprised that you see something related to Mars. And looks like atmosphere as well, Great Depression, greenhouse effect. So you can see there's quite a, you can always look here to see what they're taking a look at. But there are clearly all different content or curricular areas are being covered at this time in that top 20 area. Recently added, we hold our companies accountable, so we know that they're adding new content all the time. And so this is our way to check with them, and so they'll list those topics as well as the company that they're located or a part of, the producer. And then also, oftentimes people like to search by a specific producer if you have a favorite. So Learning Zone, as you can see, Sunburst, scrolling over, Jim Henson, Electric Company, Learnatic, Sesame Street, Reading Rainbow, everything for Reading Rainbow's in here. Also, we have over 1,200 titles from the Arts and Entertainment Network, Visual Learning, over 2,000 titles from Slim Goodbody. Weston Wood's very popular. Even though there's not many titles, the titles are used very frequently. The BBC Network, even National Geographic. So we have a lot of what I would consider big players in the educational arena in the producer area. You can also search by subject area, and they'll list the number of titles available in those subject areas. If you've been with Learn 360 at all over the years, it used to be they had an interactive map. Now what they do is they provide you with different features. So you can see the features that are available for this month. and I'm going to view all. So February is Black History Month. It's talking about teen dating violence awareness, career and technical education. But now, if you want to look at things that are symbolic for this month by day, it will directly link you to specific areas based on the day. So maybe you want to look at Groundhog Day that happened on February 2nd. So there are 22 results. You'll notice that they're in no order. Now if I was maybe with a younger grade, I'll move away from middle school. And now I'm doing a search. It went from 22 to 16. And is now those videos that are selected are recommended for grades pre-K through 2. And then if you ever want to narrow it even further by subject area, you can do that, or even by feature producers, etc. And so if you want to pull up a segment, you would click on the actual title of the segment, and it would bring it in, because we're not looking at a full video at this point. We're looking at some segments, and you can see that. What's nice is you can pick the segments within an area. This one, we're just looking at the groundhog. Or if you want to look at some other pieces, you can move between the segments to select them. You have the option of creating a new link if you want to. Once you have a teacher account, you can add it to a playlist just like we've done before. You can share, and I'll click on share, to your Google Classroom, so that's another option you have available as well. You can look at the standards it's meeting, and I'll give it a second here to load and see what it's going to pull up, if anything, yet. Oftentimes it'll want us to make the selections for it. So I'm going to select 3. It pulled up Iowa Core and Subject Science View. So if my building administrator is wanting to know how this ties to the curriculum, I can say, well, it meets this standard, and here's how I know that. And then again, you can download, you can embed a link, and it gives you the different links in which you can embed the code. So that's very helpful for you as well. You can view it full screen if you want to. You can turn on the closed captioning. You can have playback speed at different levels. And so those are all things that you have available, just like in the other videos, video libraries we've looked at early on. And then if you want to look at some of the details, maybe other things related to this, maybe you want to look at specifically Groundhog Day. And they've tagged this in different ways. So now what it's doing is going back out, searching for content related to Groundhog Day. And again, you'll have to make those selections based on the grade level that will be appropriate for you. Now you may say, I'm really having trouble meeting a specific standard that I'm currently teaching. So there's other ways you can search within Learn 360. And I'm going to show you that right now. You can click on this search by standard. And if I leave it at Iowa Core, and I'm going to select 3rd grade, and I'm going to go into Social Studies, View. What it's going to do now is it's going to go out, find those standards, but what's even better yet is if I'm trying to help meet a requirement of my administrator, and also that I'm utilizing and finding content relevant to those different standards, you may say, okay, great, but now how is it going to help me? Click on it. And it's already done the sorting for you within Learn 360, and it's rendering and pulling that in right now. It's going to pull in any title that meets standard B dash or B period 1 period 1 related to understanding various institutions, ideas, values, and behavior patterns that change over time. And it's working to pull that in right now. And so there are 26 videos that meet that standard. And now all you would need to do is go ahead and narrow it in whatever way you see best. And then again, just always encourage you to look at it and then pull those videos up and then select segments, if they're available, or in this case, this is part of a full video, so there aren't some segments. It's a short one. And then you can utilize and share that with your students. Do you want me to show you how to save content in this one too?
Sure. Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm going to add this. I'm going to add a new folder. I'm going to call this, what am I on? Landmarks. New folder. Now I'm going to go to my favorites. So where that's located is under your name. You have My Learn 360. And it's in My Favorites. Or you can create a playlist. You have two different options, or even a folder if you want to. And there it is. So that's one way that you can do that. Now, let me go back to that same video. This time I'm going to add it to a playlist. And I'm going to make a new playlist. And I'm going to call this Landmarks. New playlist. So now when I go to my playlist or My Learn 360, and again I'm going right under my name, My Learn 360, my playlist, there it is. So Landmarks. Now here's a way that you can look and see what I have available. So if you want to look in at an area where I've saved two of them, here's where I have two videos saved, so it defaults to my top one, and then my next one is down below. So very quickly it'll pull those in. When you're in those areas, and now let's try something else here. We were doing landmarks, so I'm going to go out and search for other video content and landmarks. And I'm going to save the Greece one this time. So I'm going to add this to my landmarks folder. So I'm going to go to my playlist, landmarks, and it's already there, add to playlist. So now when I go up to my Learn 360, my playlist, there should be two items in my landmarks folder, and there is. So when I click on my landmarks folder, and I gotta be patient here. There's both videos, the Grease one and the Amber Room. So that's another way that you can start to organize your content for units and be able to pull it up each semester or quarter as you're working with your students. So what questions do you have within Learn 360? Great resource. It's going to have a lot more than AEA Digital has available, but there again, it's a different type of video content that's available in Learn 360. Any questions?
I guess my question with not just Learn 360, but with the other ones, and this is a question to anybody that's with their students, how easy is it for students to use these clips up into Google Docs, like with their reports and their presentations, where they have to have multimedia and things added? Can they use these clips or clips of videos and JPEG pictures and put those pictures that they're finding in these different resources into their Google Docs? We use Google Docs, I guess, in Mount Vernon when they're putting together their presentations. Can they put those things into their Google Docs easily?
Whenever I've had a issue with like embedding, it always works okay. I've always had no issue with Google Slides, with embedding it into Google Slides for your presentations. Even PowerPoint's been okay.
Sometimes it just depends if the student's using their computer or if I'm pulling it up, depending on whether or not they might have to add in their username and password. But otherwise, I haven't ever had an issue.
Okay. Because I know, like I said, with my son, with his IEP, he'll get, here we have one-to-one where our middle schoolers all have Apple computers, and he'll have one for the rest of his career at Mount Vernon where he has a school computer. But they all use Google Docs for their presentations, so I was kind of curious as to how easy. They're slowly teaching me Google Docs, so I'm learning.
Okay. What I'm going to do now, if there's no questions, I'm going to give you, how about 15 minutes to take a look at Learn 360?
Okay.
Steve, did you try to use your username and password, that 4 numbers followed by your 4 letters in AEA10 to log in? Lori, thanks a lot for sharing. Learn 360 is our go-to place. That's one of the things I really like about the online course like all of you are in. The forums I have found to be the area that people share their ideas and really expand their learning and ways to use resources that you may not have thought of before. I'm going to quick go back to, hang on a second. Okay. Sometimes it's helpful to go back over these again. So we're in week 1 video. And if you scroll down and click on the logo, Learn 360, the color logo, that'll take us into Learn 360. I'm going to log out momentarily here. So what you'll see when you actually, let me go back again, when you actually come into it for the first time, no, it's not going to let me do that. You'll have just a box in the middle where it asks for your username and password of the page, but you can go underneath the area, and this would be where you put your 4 numbers followed by your 4 letters in your AEA10, unless you've set up your teacher account. Then you can go in as your teacher account. Oh, no, I didn't type right. Oh yeah, I'm already in my institution. I got too many windows open. That's why it's not allowing me to do it. Hang on, let me close out some of these. Confuse me on the other side. Okay, I must have one more window open I'm not seeing. Steve, are you able to get in there yet? I'll stop screen sharing here. Let me see if I can go to a different website or web. Steve, do you see anything like this on your screen yet? I'm trying to troubleshoot that for you real quick. This is what you should see with when you select the logo. And then you would type in username and password. And then it will take you to this screen. It's always possible something might be wrong with yours, and I can quick check it. Let's see.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? We offer auto-show savings on vehicles designed to amaze. Like 0%
I'm in now.
Oh, good, because I was just getting ready to go look your username up.
No, I had it. I was just confused by the no icon thing, but I got it.
Okay,
Thanks
good.
for your help.
You're welcome. Bonnie, let me see if I can do something on the back admin side. It may take me a little bit. I'm going to quick step away and run out and get some more water, so I'll be just a few minutes. Steve, there is a way you can do that if you want to house it under like something for just Compass that your students could hit, that we could set up. I would need to sit down with you and talk you through what the options are with that. But it's doable, and I've done it at Center Point, Urbana. I'm trying to think. Washington, Iowa. And there's one other one. Can't think of the other one right now, but I've done it at 3 different school districts, and we've done it uniquely to a specific building. How's everyone doing? I'm guessing everyone is finding something since it's very quiet. Okay, great. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'll take us back here one more time. Whoops. Let me back out. Okay, so we're in week 1. We've gone through the 4 resources that I wanted to take a look at, plus trying to work some of the housekeeping type things on the very first night. So there's a video quiz here. Just remember, it doesn't matter about the score. It's the idea that you start to build familiarity with where you may direct students based on the resources we've looked at. It's not scored. And then your forum can be accessed here, or it can be accessed down below. Everything else that's down here, you've either already set up because you've been asking questions about it tonight, or that information's here too, but I send it to you individually. So the rest of the time is for you to look at any of these, post that initial forum question for tonight, and then reply to 3 other classmates' posts, and you're good till 2 weeks from this Wednesday. But I would encourage you to take time and explore any of the resources that are there. And then, quick question, how many people would like courses open up on the Sunday before the next class?
I definitely would appreciate that.
I would
Okay.
like that too.
All right, so what I'll do is on the 18th, I will open up week 2. So you'll just go into the middle course and it won't be grayed out. Week 2 will be open and ready to go. And if you want to start working through things on your own and looking at the videos that I've put together there, you may do that. You can attend class that week if you'd like. And then initial posts will either need to be done be sometime between the 21st and the 23rd for week 2. And then your 3 replies need to be done before the end of the 27th. Would it be helpful if I indicate those in each week's course for you?
Yes.
Okay, I can go in and make those revisions. So this week's you will have, I would say, let's just give you through the 13th. If you don't get it done tonight, you can have through the 13th to get your initial post up and ready, and then all replies have to be done by the 20th. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm here. If you have questions, I'm happy to help. I am going to ask each of you individually what you think your plans will be in the future, so I kind of have an idea how many will be here each week. or if you're going to work independently. So I'm just going to quick go around and ask. Crystal?
I'll probably be here each week.
Okay. And I already know Deb's answer. Maureen? Maureen, would you be here each week or on your own?
Whoop, I'm sorry, you must be muted. I will be here every week with the exception of March 7th.
Okay. So I'll have a recorded link up the next day for you.
Thank you.
Okay. Steve? Steve, do you plan to be here each week or? And I can't hear you.
Sorry, yeah. And we need to talk about getting you out the compass so we can work on that.
Yep.
So that'd be good.
Email or call my cell phone and we'll get
All right.
something lined up. And I'll get out there right away. Michelle?
Yeah. For the
Okay.
most part, I plan to be here every
Okay.
week.
Rob?
Yeah, I should be here each week, I think.
Okay. Kelly Kindle?
I think I was gonna try to work on my own, but if I have problems, then I'll probably tune in. Is there every week gonna be a Zoom like this?
Yep.
Okay.
So you're welcome to, drop in if you have questions and I can answer things or whatever works.
Okay,
It just lets
sounds
me
great.
know who I have to watch for so I don't start without someone.
Okay.
Okay, Jennifer?
I'm going to try to work on my own. And
Perfect.
I will check in if I need to.
Got it. Kelly, is it Moran? Moran? Oh, wait, she sent me. Okay, sorry. She's going to be here every week. Okay. Bonnie, okay. Amy, what's your plans?
I'm planning right now to be here every week.
Okay, got it. Brittany?
I plan to be here every week for the most part. If it's a Wednesday, I probably have to pick up my kids from church, so be gone for part of the time.
Okay, that's fine. And again, you can always reference the recording or any of the other areas too. Let's see. Okay, that works. Okay. I've got everyone else's answer. Okay, super. All right. If there's topics you're getting ready to explore with, in the next couple of weeks or so, email me so I can drive this to meet your needs as we work through the different resources. Because again, there's 24 resources. You've seen 4 of them. Okay, so keep that in mind. I look at email. I'm on there all the time. So I'll get back to you. Yeah, and I know quite a few of you have conferences. I've heard that already. So come when you can, and I appreciate the heads up, and I'll make note of that so I know you'll be dropping in as soon as you can. Okay, I'm going to be quiet. If you need me, I'm here.
Well, take care.
Okay. And if you want to sign off, you're welcome to do that.
Kathleen, I have a question for you on how I could possibly proceed with this first week's assignment since I substitute.
Okay. Give me a second. Go ahead.
So I know that the 4th grade is reading, or the librarian is reading Number the Stars about the Holocaust right now. And she's read that to them the last several years, because when I've subbed the last several years, I've read parts of it. And I know that she also doesn't usually do videos or anything, other than maybe once in a while she'll show a movie related to a book. If I found some resources for her, would that be a way that I could go about the assignment? And then I think she actually would be interested in having some resources to use, just maybe doesn't know where to go, possibly.
That would be perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, I know with a couple of you, we'll have to change up how you're adapting this, and that's A-okay with me.
Kathleen, this is Michelle. I kind of was having the same thought on how to tweak this assignment.
Sure.
For me too, because obviously I'm not in a situation where I'm anywhere near a classroom making lesson plans at this point, but
what you could do is
have done lesson plans in the past. You know, I could see where I could have used these in prior lessons plans, you know.
And that's fine. If you want to just
past things where I could have added this in to different lesson plans that I would have had, or I'm trying to think of, just a simple way to tweak it so that it fits without, rewriting, without remaking the wheel, basically.
Sure. If you want to just take something from the past and adapt it, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Perfectly fine with it.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay, good question. A couple people, or another person asked about final assignment. I don't like to have you reinvent the wheel. So if you have a current unit of study or lesson plan that you would like to add, or that you could see 3 different resources helping to better explain that unit, that will work for me. So you can just, I don't want to put, you could actually just take your lesson plan, link which video you might show, tell me how you would use it in 2 or 3 sentences. If you have an article from EBSCO, 2 or 3 sentences, and that will meet the criteria. Does that help?
I'm kind of interested too with all the different resources. I heard you mention one earlier that we're going to be going through. Which ones I'd like to bring up in my son's IEP.
Sure.
That we have as well. Like I said, I'm not going to be, I could easily use them to, put in a thing, but we're about to rewrite his IEP. And we're always, normally we have somebody from Grantwood come out, and we didn't last time, that brings a list of resources, to work with our tech person. But I'm the one that normally does the research now on what the new programs are, like the programs that read to him,
sure,
that highlight his reading.
And that's fine too, if you want to reference things like that how it would further provide learning supports for your son, that'll work for me too.
Okay.
So I'm very versatile on this, very versatile. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, if there aren't any other questions, everyone have a good week. Stay safe with the different rounds of weather that are coming in, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. As always, feel free to email if you have questions, and I'd be happy to help out or call. Any last minute questions? Or for questions for me? Okay, if there aren't, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end the session at this time, and we'll see everyone in a couple weeks. Have a great time.